We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets.
Hi guys, it's Emily from Muzzy Debt Free Girl here, back with another video for you all. Don't forget, if you like this kind of content, to like, comment and subscribe. Click the little notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, which is every other day. And today we're going to do a bit of a bake up Sunday reset, and we're going to start with a pear cobbler. You guys have seen me make the peach cobbler on here a bunch of times, but I only have 1 can of peaches and 5 cans of pears, so we're going to do pear. This was actually so lovely. I was really happy with it. I just did 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and brought that to a boil. I'm going to, off camera here, put my spoon through each of the pears just to cut them in half so I didn't have big chunks. And I'm going to pour some cornflour syrup in there to thicken it up and make a nice, really jammy, delicious fruit compote. You could also add some cinnamon here. I often do when I'm doing apples, but I ended up just adding my cinnamon on top with my nutmeg, which was really nice. This was so nice. I went for a thicker cake batter than usual on this one because I wanted more tea cake consistency than a real true cobbler consistency. And I will just very much add more flour if I want something thicker and add a little less if I want it thinner. So that's exactly what I did. This batter is literally just milk, flour, butter, and sugar. Gluten-free, of course, the self-raising. So that's what I did. And I'm just going to pour the fruit over the top because that was easier for me. And then I'm just going to swirl my spoon through it so that it mixes together a little bit. It'll be pretty, but also so that there are areas that aren't any areas that are just a big blob of pear that won't set, and it'll just make a mess. So yeah, I think it actually looks really pretty. This could be something you could do for morning tea with your friends or for the kids after school. I also make an apple and cinnamon cake that you've seen me make a bunch of times for the kids for school, which I'm going to make here in a minute. And I send them with a piece of that every single day, and they get very excited. I'm also going to crumble some brown sugar over the top so that when it melts in the oven while it's cooking, you get these nice little crunchy, crispy bits on top, which is lovely. You can do this with white sugar too. I like the brown because it's more caramelly taste. And then I decided to finally use this premium bread mix that I've had in the stockpile, no joke, about 5 years. So I just went by the package instructions, which was 395 grams of lukewarm water if I was using yeast, which I have in my freezer. So I did 1.5 tablespoons of yeast, and I think it was 50 grams of oil. Mix that through. This turned out not the way I would like, though. I really want to find some gluten-free baking flour, which is some bread baking flour, which is what I've been trying to find in bulk for a good price, but everywhere seems to be out at the moment with stock issues. This didn't rise the way I wanted it to. So while that was rising, I made my apple and cinnamon cake. Now for the apple and cinnamon cake, I no longer make the batter from scratch because it's actually cheaper just to get a vanilla cake mix from Coles or Woolies. They're 90 cents, and I can't do the sugar and the flour and the baking soda and all of that for anywhere near this 90 cents. So I'm just making that to the packing instructions, and then I'm actually just going to dump a tin of apple directly into this. No cooking it off or anything, and no pre-made pie filling, which I usually keep in my freezer. So I literally just dump this in. You could do this too, a 90-cent cake mix and a tin of apples from the shops, and you've got some great lunchbox snacks, or again a nice afternoon tea treat. So I'm just going to mix this through here and then put it directly into some small loaf pans because that makes it easy for me to cut up for the kids for school. It's just the right size to go in the little compartment in their lunch boxes. Now this one I'm adding the cinnamon directly to. I throw in a bunch, stir it through, decide if it smells right, and if it doesn't, I add some more. As long as I can see the cinnamon in there, that's always a good indication. I ended up getting 2.5 loaves out of this, 1 packet of cake mix and 1 tin of apples. And my pear cobbler cake is done, and it was was so good. I also made some vanilla custard to serve it with because obviously I was going to have some then. And everybody had some custard and cake. So literally milk, corn flour, eggs, sugar. And there's my vanilla custard. I'm going to pour it over the top. And how sexy is this? Oh, sorry for the sudden movement, but you got to see this. Whoa, I like mine thick. All right, and that was my morning tea. And there is my first one done. And I'm going to go and check on my bread in about 10-20 minutes. And we've risen, but again, not as much as I wanted it to. So then I was already in the kitchen, so I decided it was time to make some lunch for everyone. So I grabbed out some more bread and I chopped up some salami and some pepperoni, and I made some mini pizzas. I also tried this gluten-free tortilla hack with some garlic butter in between, so it tastes like garlic bread, and then the pizza on top. It was nice. It was a little too almost soggy in the middle and then too crispy on the outside, but it was still definitely tasty, and we're using things up, getting these things out of my pantry. There's my lunch there, my 4 tortillas. There's hubby's, and there is the kids' pile, which I let cool down for longer. And here's my bread later after I've let it cool off and rest. It was nice. It looks very dense. It's not as fluffy as I would like, but honestly, it didn't feel very dense. But I cut it all up and I stuck it into the fridge. I did wrap it, don't worry. I just didn't show that here for some reason. And then after I got the kids off to bed and did all of that and hubby did dinner, it was time to make some trail mix. Now, I've had questions about this before. It's literally whatever you want that'll fit in your hand. We do a variety of things. It changes literally every week depending on what we have and what we have on hand. So we've got mini pretzels, those drizzled popcorn I got in that food parcel. We have some pepita seeds, some dried cranberries, some almonds, not very many. The kids don't like them, but that's part of the deal. And I think that's it for this one. Super easy. You could do any dried fruit, any cereal that you guys like. I do chocolate chips in mine sometimes, or in the kids. Anything that you can just grab a handful of and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you like this kind of content, to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.